Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Boozer here, and in today's video we want to go over the current 10x champion Ragash. Actually a really awesome champion, just a great overall champion. He's part of the Skinwalkers. He's a spirit affinity defense based nuker, so he scales off defense. He's got defense all battles on his aura. Just go over his kit real quick here. His A1 double hits and places an increased defense on himself only, so he self buffs, increasing his damage. That's excellent. His A2 is an AoE 3-turn cooldown, 100% decreased defense and 100% stun. Excellent move, incredible move actually. So like if he was a pure support champion, this move would be absolutely bonkers. Like if you put this move on Syl of the Drakes, absolutely bonkers. We'll be talking about Syl forever, but we already do because her stun move is already insanely good, but it's not even 100%. But Ragash has a 100% stun, actually insane move. But it's kind of weird because he's an attacker, so you want him to do damage, but now he has such great debuffs. His A3 4-turn cooldown, he team buffs with strengthened and increased speed. Also places veil on himself, so he hides himself so he can like pounce and smack, right? Look at this guy and his Wolverine claws, slash, right? Super cool looking champ. Tony the Tiger with body armor and Wolverine claws, looks great. So he has like team support, team debuffs, but he also smacks. And he's a self-sustaining attacker, so he can like buff himself and attack. Just a really strong overall champion. His passive at the start of each turn, place a veil, perfect veil for 1 turn on the ally with the highest attack. So he will protect your potentially attack-based nuker on the same team. He also inflicts 20% more damage against target whose defense is lower than this champion's defense. Very likely he will have higher defense than any champion on the opposing team unless you're playing against another defense-based nuker or like the tankiest, I don't know, Ultimate Death Knight or whatever that you've ever seen. Because he's a defense-based scaling nuker, you want him to have high defense to deal lots of damage. So he's offering team support, team debuffs, and he is offering lots of damage. He's a great overall champion. You can build him tons of ways, and he can be used in tons of areas. The problem with him that I see is that he won't excel in any area more than other specific champions. So while he's a great generalist, he does everything, he's not the best at anything. So that's the problem, right? So as a spirit-based nuker, he hits really hard. Is he the best spirit-based nuker? He's probably close, decent-ish. But if you want him to have debuffs like stun and decreased defense, you need to give him accuracy. So that kind of takes away from his damage potential. It's like, do you go full out damage but forgo these awesome debuffs, or do you give him accuracy and you give up a bit of damage? So it's a tough compromise, right? Like you don't know what you really want to build him with. So I think personally, like the best types of, it just really depends on where you want to use him. So if you want to use him in faction wars, like you kind of gear him probably mostly for damage with a little bit of accuracy for his debuffs. But if you want to gear him for pure damage and forgo accuracy just for arena purposes, you can do that too, and have somebody else drop defense or somebody else do the crowd control. So that works as well. So I'll show you guys how I build them out. So I did go for the 150 guarantee long time ago on this account. On my other account I didn't. Kind of regret it because if I did have, actually I didn't have the shards, otherwise I would have went for Ragash. But if I had Ragash on my other account, I would build him for my spirit nuker for live arena because I think he's actually really good. But I'll show you guys how I use them and build them on this account. I haven't used them in live arena yet on this account, mainly because I have 2 better nukers, Rodos and Harima on this account as well. So this is my Ragash. I mainly use him for faction wars. Like my account is pretty progressed, pretty end game, so I have better champions for other areas of the game. General stats, you know, kind of slowish, not super fast. Nuker kind of average. I mainly use him not so much for debuffing, but he's more of an attacker, as you can see, mainly for faction wars. His gear is kind of average, 250 accuracy just to land, against faction war waves, and 250 accuracy is actually quite enough for most arena teams. It will stun, like for example, the attacker or the nuker. It will stun some support champions like arbiters. Obviously, you won't be able to stun high resistance tanks, right? So, but you give him a little bit of accuracy. 250 is not too hard to hit. You probably only give up a couple hundred defense off his overall strength. But yeah, this is the build. I got him in Savage and Perception. I think this is reasonable as a general build. You definitely don't need to build him like this. You can build him full Perception. You can build him with Lethal Cruel for more damage. Like Savage Broken for more damage. Like there's a lot of ways to build this champion, but I think overall you want his stats somewhat similar to this. I think maybe a bit faster. Maybe if he was 220 speed, so he can go before the majority of your other champions, so he can place the decreased defense and stun. That might be useful. I believe my faction war team is quite slow, so he is actually positioned in a way to place the decreased defense before the rest of my team goes. So, but this is what I got him in. Just go over the gear real quick. Nothing too special. You got accuracy, crit rate, crit damage. You got speed. You got crit rate, defense, speed, crit damage, speed, crit rate, defense. So crit rate, crit damage, defense, accuracy. And then you have defense, triple defense, really nice. Crit rate, crit damage, really nice boot for defense. Nuker with some speed. And then this is a really awful banner. Accuracy, crit damage, amulet, and defense percentage ring. So as you can see, the gear on him is not like end game. I definitely just have, these are kind of like leftover pieces for him just for faction wars. Masteries, I have him with War Master to help with the boss. If you guys are using him for arena only, you guys want Helm Smasher. And then you try to make your way down to here, with whatever mastery works best for what you're using him for. And I went for increased duration on his decreased defense. You could definitely go down defense tree to get a little bit more defense and protection on the AoEs. So what's the deal? Where's best to use him for your account? If you're early or mid game, he's a huge carry. Like you definitely can build him for wave based content, and nuking content. So you can use him for arena, and then you can use him for waves, which is awesome. Even for something like clan boss, he would be like okay-ish. He's defense based, so he can last a little bit. He places strengthen and increased speed on your whole team, so he'll give your team some survivability. This veil might also mess up or help your stun targeting, but protecting your attack based damage dealers. And he places a decreased defense on the clan boss, so he actually can be okay if you put him maybe in lifesteal and have War Master on him. He can do a little bit if you're in the early game. So of course in the late game it doesn't matter, you're not going to be using him in the clan boss anyways. But let's jump out of it. So if you guys were fortunate enough to pull him in the current 10x event, definitely check him out, and maybe I'll show you guys what I would do in the arena. So I do have a team here. I have an idea of a team. Okay, so increase defense and Ragash. So you kind of want to increase defense champion going before Ragash so he can do maximum damage. So let's jump in here real quick. The problem is he'll pair really good with Sifi, but obviously Sifi is a void legendary, so not everyone will have him. But we'll try him out in this team. So we go boost, we go first, we CC the team, and then I believe this is the increased defense. There you go, increased defense. So now Ragash is jacked up and he's ready to flex, and it's A2 slash. Looks like we weak hit against the gore grab here. All right, let's move on. Let's try again. Let's try this team. This might end badly because the Mithrala can cleanse the Kymar, but let's see what happens here. Okay, we go first. We try to CC our team. Oh my goodness, the Mithrala got CC'd. And now, Ragash with the big flex. Boom! With parry and then weak hit. So the weak hit really, really sucks. Obviously, we weak hit against the Magic champion, so let's try to finish off this team if we can. Can we get back to the stuns here? No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright. There we go. Alright. So Goffred protected our Ragash from straight up dying. But you see kind of how it works. He goes defense up and then Ragash does the big slam. So I think the big issue might be to find a reliable defense, increased defense champion that will allow you to buff up the Ragash. Let's try this team. This team has a Duchess, so AoE protection. Definitely will test the Ragash. I don't think Ragash is built enough damage to actually kill this team, but let's see. More of a showcase for medium accounts, I guess. So let's see what Ragash can do. We have 2 magic champions. Boom! Big Swiperino. That was a big one. Can we stun so no revives? There we go. Nice. A little lucky there. All right. That was a big Swiperino. Took him out. That's what happens when no weak hits happen. Let's see this one. Let's see if we can one-shot this Skull Crusher. I mean, these teams are like decent strength, like 230, 240, 250 player power. Like they got some gear on them. But yeah, let's see what this guy can do. All right, let's buff again. CC them. Okay, good. Okay, we missed the CC on the Skull Crusher, but we should go first and swipe. Nice. There we go. Ragash working. Yeah, so Ragash with the increased defense actually can do a little bit of damage. Obviously, my Ragash he's geared okay, but mainly for faction wars. But yeah, hopefully you guys got some sense of how to play him, how to use him, how to build him. For Arena, I will suggest that you leave him off auto or have a preset team because he prioritizes his buff skill first over his AoE. So keep that in mind if you guys are using him in Arena. Otherwise, yeah, so to wrap up, I would build him with a little bit of accuracy between 200 and 250. That makes him viable in dungeons, faction wars, and he'll be able to CC and decrease defense weaker, lower resistance champions in Arena, such as Nukers or strictly support champions, for example, like yeah, like Arbiter or their Nuker, for example, and make him a little bit quick. Make him a little bit quick. You want him to cycle through his abilities. He has really good abilities. His passive does protection. He does team buffing, and then he does a lot of debuffs. His A1 actually hits really good, and his A2 hits really good too. So some more turns on him will definitely help. And yeah, if you guys pulled him, congratulations. He's a great champion. He'll definitely help. And if you guys haven't done faction wars yet, he will dominate faction wars for you. All right. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.